So I'll give you a little update on what I'm working on today. We finally have a beautiful, gorgeous day where for once I'm not at work. So I'm gonna try to hustle and get a lot done. I'm cleaning out the big garden today, so it's gonna take a lot of time and effort. But I'm also planting the Brussels sprouts finally. I've never done these before, so I'll let you know how it goes. It'll be kind of experimental for me. But I love Brussels sprouts, and I imagine that just like everything else fresh, these will taste even better than the ones I've had from the store. So basically, you want to plant them about a foot apart. They're going to get pretty big. And then the Brussels sprouts themselves are going to grow on the stalk of it. I have a lot of compost in here. And then I've also added blood meal because Brussels sprouts like a lot of nitrogen, and this is a great source of nitrogen. You've probably heard me talk about it in other videos, but nitrogen is the first number on the fertilizer bag. So I'm going to get these watered. And if you subscribe, you can follow along this summer and see how these do along with the other crops that we're going to plant. Okay, so I'm doing a little experiment. My homegirl Mimosa here is broody as usual, and she is the best mom ever. She's hatched eggs before, she's taken care of any baby that's not her own. She doesn't care, she'll raise you. See, look, she's getting all broody because Peach is looking at her. One time I raised chicks in the house because she wasn't broody, and they were old enough to come outside, fully feathered. They did not need a heat source, they did not need their mom, but she didn't care. She went broody about the time I brought them out here, and I had them caged off so I could start introducing them to the flock, and she wanted to get in there and take care of them, so she adopted them. Even though they did not need her, it was really cute. Some of them were bigger than her, and she still sat on them at night, so it made that whole transition really easy. Well, now that she's broody, I put these babies in here because it's a really, really warm day, so they're fun to be out here. And I'm gonna see if she'll adopt them so that way I can speed things up and get them out of my house a couple weeks earlier. So we will see. I am gonna take the eggs from her. Sorry, Mimosa. That way she'll focus on the chicks and not just focus on the eggs that she's trying to hatch. So fingers crossed, we'll see if she takes to them. I have them caged off just to keep them safe and contained, but I will update you and let you know. Today I planted some peas in here, and as we all know, they are viney. Well, instead of using a trellis, I'm just going to let them grow tall and then drape down here like a beautiful fountain. So we'll see how that little experiment turns out. Found this random red onion growing near the retaining wall. Don't know why, but there it is. And then today in all of these holes I planted flower seeds, lots of different kinds. Zinnias, flamingo feathers, poppies, cosmos, asters, all kinds of stuff. And of course, I will update you guys once they sprout, and you can follow along and see the bouquets I make out of them this summer. So now we're going to go plant some cabbage and cauliflower. The tragic thing is, where I get broccoli plants from, they actually ran out. So I'm scrambling trying to find more broccoli plants, so stay tuned. It's too late to start them from seed. If I had known, I would have started them from seed. So hopefully I can still find some. But in the meantime, I'm going to plant the cabbage and cauliflower. They are very susceptible to worms, just like all cole crops are. Same with Brussels sprouts. This stuff works pretty well. I recommend spraying in the evening, that way you don't burn the plant or stress it in the heat of the day with the sun beating down on it. You want to spray the top of the leaves and the bottom, and you can also spray the stem just to make sure that your plant is fully safe. You can also spray liquid fence around the perimeter of your garden to try to keep the rabbits and the squirrels and the deer at bay, because they love to eat plants like this. This stuff is hit or miss. Sometimes it seems like it works, but if I'm being honest, a lot of the times, eventually in the season, they kind of get over it. So it's one of those difficult things. Try it if you think it's worth it. It really wasn't too expensive, but I'm not going to say it's foolproof, because it's definitely not. And for the Brussels sprouts, the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, all kinds of things like that, they like nitrogen. So you can mix this in your water when you water them. You could do this maybe every 3 to 4 weeks. And it'll help them get a nice, beautiful size. I'm also going to put blood meal in the soil. It's a slow release, great source of nitrogen. And I'm also going to put in lots of compost because they are heavy feeders. And don't forget about your phosphorus and potassium, the middle and the last number on the fertilizer. Your plants will appreciate those macronutrients as well. For some reason, Monkey really loves to run down the basement stairs. Several videos back, I taught you guys how to grow purple cauliflower from a seed. Well, the time has come. We're going to put them outside now. So here we are. Honestly, I should have filmed the cleanup process, but it was so much and I was so busy I didn't even think about it, and filming it would have just set me back even more. I was determined to get it done because I'm already behind. But we piled up all the dead plants from last year. Here's a beaver house. Just kidding, that's more dead plants. And if you have the land and the room for it, you can actually compost this, but we have very limited land and we're technically in a neighborhood, so I can't have a huge compost pile, sadly. So we're just gonna bag these up and get rid of them. But it was a lot. I'm quite sore. We don't have equipment, so everything we do is by hand. There's all the corn stalks. We're gonna clear this out, and then soon, before you know it, we'll be planting corn. So you can sell the dry corn stalks in the fall. It makes a great decoration. And I had every intention of doing that. But then when fall finally came, I was so busy and so much was going on, and we were traveling. We went to the beach in the fall, and I just never got around to it. And by the time we got back, it just didn't look good enough to sell. But this year, I'm not going to let it go to waste. We'll either bunch it up and sell it, or I'll use it to decorate with myself. And I'm really excited about this. The tulips are finally blooming. This is one of the new colors I planted last fall. So soon, and I'll do this in another video coming up, but I'm going to have so many flowers to plant because I'm actually expanding this year on my flower garden and my bouquet sales. And here's a little update. If you saw my video where I was planting radishes, carrots, beets, potatoes, all that stuff in the raised beds, well, the radishes have sprouted. Some of the beets are popping up. And a lot of the kale and the lettuce, I'll have to thin some of it. The rain pushed it into each other. Shortly after I planted all this stuff, we had such heavy downpours, so I knew it was going to happen. And there's the spinach. And the onions are popping up already. So when you transplant any plant, you want to do it towards the evening. You don't want to do it in the morning or in the middle of the day because the heat from the sun being at its strongest will really stress out the plant. I actually made a video all about this last year where I showed when I put this down, but in case you haven't seen that, I recommend checking it out. But also, this is called a silo cover. I put this down because silo covers cover a lot more of the land. Don't mind the mess. Like I said just a little bit ago, we're still in the process of cleaning up. But this covers up a large sum of ground, so that way I don't have to worry about weeds popping up, and it warms up the ground so that you can plant faster. And it also helps the seeds germinate faster. You can also get landscape fabric or what's called plastic mulch at most farm stores if you needed something smaller than this. Here's the cabbage varieties. And then we're going to do cheddar cauliflower, which is a beautiful orange color once the head forms, traditional white, and then the purple ones that I started from seed. I'm scrambling to get a lot done because one, I'm already behind, and traditionally I actually like to start a little bit earlier than you're supposed to, but I'm behind for a lot of reasons. The weather has been very, very bad lately, so it's just been difficult to have the right time to plant. And also at work, we're super short-staffed. There's already been some days where I had to work every single day, not a single break, and then next week coming up, since we're going to be short-staffed, I have to go in this Sunday to take care of the chicks and all the plants there, and then I have to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, open to close on Friday. Got to go in again on Saturday, and then hopefully I don't have to go in on Sunday again. And yeah, the overtime pay is great and all, but when you're also trying to farm and run a business and take care of all these animals in addition to that, it's pretty tricky. but I'm trying really, really hard to keep a stable attitude about it, because what other choice do I have? So I always shave away a little bit of the dirt, just because you don't need all of that dirt. And if it's root bound at all, just really gently break it up at the base. See, when I say there's a lot of rocks in the soil here, I'm not lying. And then I'm going to add a little bit of compost. Toss the rocks aside and then put more soil around it. And then I'll sprinkle a little bit of blood meal at the base. If you get any on the leaves, just really gently brush it off. I've heard some people claim that blood meal, because of the smell, that it also may help deter the rabbits and the deer, so that's another plus to using that. And then anytime you transplant something, make sure it gets plenty of water, because they're going to be stressed. They're going to go into a little bit of shock, so just keep an eye on it, especially for the first several days, just to make sure it's not wilting and dehydrating. If it is, add more water. So I'm going to get the rest of these planted, and then we'll check back. It's all planted now. Plants like cauliflower and broccoli, which sadly I don't have the broccoli yet, but same rule applies. You want to plant them at least a foot apart. You don't want them right on top of each other, because they're going to get larger. They're going to get lots of leaves. You don't want them competing with each other too much, because if they're not getting enough nutrients and if they have a lot of competition, the head won't get nearly as big. When the head does start to form, you can take the leaves of the plant and tie it over the head like so. Use a rubber band or some twine to hold it in place. That way you can protect the head from the sun. If the head of cauliflower is exposed to the sun for too long, it could change the color of it. And it won't technically hurt it. It'll still taste the same. It'll still be just as nutritious as it would be if you did this or not. But especially if you're selling it, you just want to make sure it looks perfect and pretty, because it's really hard to sell food that doesn't look perfect. So make sure you protect it from the sun once the head starts to form. And for cabbage, I keep it about 2 feet apart. That way, as the head starts to grow, they have plenty of space and plenty of room, and they're not right on top of each other. Another reason is because you want good airflow, because that will lessen your chances of diseases. If there's not good airflow, they might get some mildew or some mold issues, and you don't want that. It's funny because so many plants need so much maintenance and so much specific care, and then there's some like this one that'll just pop up anywhere no matter what. Enemy spotted. Look out, chickens. Soon I'm going to be doing the big, beautiful upgrade in here, so stay tuned for that. So, these chickens are being nosy. Leave her alone. You didn't need to be that dramatic. So, Mimosa's still broody. Okay, I just cleaned this not even 2 hours ago. And it's not dirty per se, but they went nuts with these shavings. What did they do? Have a party? See, I can't keep up with it all. I can't win. But anyways, Mimosa's been talking to the babies, but she hasn't really been trying to get in here with them like she did in the past with other ones. But they still haven't been in here that long. She may change her mind. I think right now, since she just became broody, her mind is still dead set on hatching eggs. But we'll see. They don't necessarily need her. It's just always so much easier when they get adopted by a broody hen, because then when you transition them in with the other hens, you know, the broody hen will protect them, take care of them, show them the ropes. It's just so much easier. But you can see these girls really don't mind them being in their presence, so it looks like it'll be another easy transition when the time comes. They're used to it. They know every spring we add a couple more babies. They know the drill. And then during the day, I do have a larger playpen that they can go out and play in, so they're not always in here. I have other videos about that too, and I will also be making one all about adding them to the flock, and I'll show you that in that video as well. Where are you trying to go, honeysuckle? See, she just is worried about the eggs. When I was planting the potatoes in that video, we discovered a really cute bird nest under the deck. So let's get a quick update on that. Let's see how it's doing. Make sure you check out that video if you haven't already seen it. It was about how to plant potatoes in grow bags and onions in containers, and we found this nest. And when we found it, the seeds that had landed in it completely on its own had just started to sprout. And you can see now they have leaves on them. Still not exactly sure what they are. And there's still only one egg in here. It actually, it's hard to tell. I don't want to touch it. It looks like an eggshell, actually. Like a broken eggshell. So since there's no new eggs laid in the nest yet, it's normal for birds to lay 1 egg a day. And before all their eggs are laid and they're ready to start incubating, they will not sit on the nest because, one, they don't need to yet. They'd rather wait to sit on the nest until all their eggs are laid. That way they can incubate at the same time and hatch right around the same time. That way it's easier to just raise them all together. There's safety in numbers. And also because they don't want to hang around the nest until they're ready to start incubating, because they don't want to draw attention and predators to that nest. So since so many days have passed since we first discovered this, and there's still only 1 egg, this makes me think that maybe this is an abandoned nest from last year, and maybe that's a broken eggshell that just is laying in such a way that it looked whole from the angle I filmed that last time. Or, because, you know, now that I think about it, it really did look whole when I looked at it before. So maybe, unfortunately, something got to it, and it's just broken. So that's sad. Probably won't get to see what bird made this nest because it looks like there's no progress with that. But we can follow along the progress of these mystery plants that have landed in it, and we'll see what happens with them. And on a completely unrelated note, I got my pet frog a new little mushroom ledge for his bioactive terrarium. So I'll show you that. It was really cute. And my tree frog wasn't the only one that got something new for his tank. My crested gecko, Adelea, my sable gecko, got this cute little frog cup. And I just found her sleeping in it. It's so cute. And also, I haven't given you an update on the silky chicks in a while, so let's check in on them before we go too. So 2 of them sold. They went to a really good home. And as of right now, I still have 2 left. Let's go see them. And yes, I do have a video all about the silky chicks. I have a video about when they hatched and about when I incubated them and how to do so. In my Easter video, there's an update on them too there, so make sure you check those videos out if you haven't already. So here they are. Aren't they adorable? It is insane how fast they grow. They're so cute. So I'm probably still going to keep Willow. She was the one that had the splayed leg that I fixed. And then I think that my Aunt Laura is probably going to take the other one. And she already has chicks of her own that are kind of close to the same age, so don't worry, it won't be lonely. I would never sell a chick on its own because they need company. And then, of course, once she gets hers, my other one will go in with the chicks that I have. But yeah, I'm still waiting for a straight answer from Aunt Laura. If she doesn't get this chick, then I'll just keep it. But, you know, Aunt Laura, if you're watching this, come get your chick. It's ready for you. Look how cute. I mean, who wouldn't want a silky? They're the best. Look at that little afro coming in. Beautiful. And I love how big the silky's eyes are. They just look so cute. Yeah, in no time, they'll be ready to start going outside for some play sessions with the other ones. Get them acclimated to the life outside. And we got an order of granola going out to one of our loyal customers. Unrelated to, but I just figured I'd show you. We don't only sell produce, we also sell little treats and baked goods. Here's a little tip. If you're really sore from gardening, from all the lifting and digging and bending over, this stuff is really, really good to put on after you get out of the shower. I think the best way to describe it is it feels really minty and refreshing, so it's really nice on your sore muscles. You can get it from the Olive Branch, and if you don't live near Hanover, Pennsylvania, they do ship. And I'm attempting to propagate my pink princess plant for the first time. I was reading about it. I'll let you know in other videos if it works. But apparently you cut off one that has these little nodes on it. Let me zoom in so you can see it. And at least 3 leaves. Let it callus over overnight, and then put it in some water and it should grow roots. So yeah, you didn't come to this video for that, but there's a random little tidbit for you. Aside from garden plants, I have a ton of house plants, so maybe one day I'll make a video giving you guys a tour of those as well. Oh, and sorry if this video is all over the place, but one more super cool thing I wanted to show you is that I got a Venus flytrap recently, and it actually caught a fly. I don't know why I'm so amazed about that, because that's what it's supposed to do. But if you hold a light up to it, you can see. Isn't that cool? One of these days, I'll have to make time to make a care video for the Venus flytrap, because it's actually a really, really neat plant to have. But that's for another day. I'm going to end the video now. I'm going to go out there and take care of the chicks again, give them more food, more water, since it looks like they dumped it out. They were partying too hard. What can I say? They're at that rebel stage. So, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you can tune in for all the other videos that are going to be coming out. Monkey glitched. Usually she catches these right away. I guess she got nervous being on camera. Alright, Eva, don't be camera shy. You got this, girl. Whoops. No, she doesn't. Okay, let's try this one more time. And also, while you're waiting for the future videos to come out, just pray for mercy that I can survive this crazy busy season and that the rabbits don't eat our plants. Yay! Good monkey. Update, I got broccoli plants. I'm gonna go plant them now.